Ryan and Jenna, there's the borough council. Just have to sign it right there.
Nope. There's no clock. All right. Welcome to the school board meeting. You all please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So good evening, everyone. We have a full house here tonight. It's great to see so many students here in particular. But we're going to start tonight with our first presentation of work-based learning. So I'm going to invite Bowman. Do you want to start the party?
Absolutely. I'll actually have Mrs. Smith there.
Yeah.
Just start and we can put these slides up. I'll take care of that. Sure. Actually, I got
So I think you've heard me talk enough about the great strides work-based learning and this program has made this year, but not just with the work that we've collaborated on, but the work that you're about to see every work-based learning participant present to you tonight. So I can't tell you enough how grateful I am for every single member of this program. You'll see why.
Hi, my name is Sherry Bowman, and I'm helping to coordinate the work-based learning program. First of all, the work-based learning program would like to thank you for your service to the school. I am also a board member of the Berlin District, have been for about 7 years now, so I'm very familiar with what you do and how much we get paid, right? So, yeah, there is no pay, but it is completely worth it in my opinion. So tonight we're going to just talk a little bit about work-based learning. We're going to, I'll have you go right back real quick, whoever's doing the slides. Back to, okay. So we have a motto in work-based learning. It's tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. Benjamin Franklin. We all know who Benjamin Franklin is. Most people don't know that he worked best hands-on, as does work-based learning. So let's talk a little bit about that. We're going to present it, and the following students: Aiden Davignon, Austin Radley, Ed Young, Joe DeGeorge, Kaylee Barber, Kara Duncan, myself, and Mrs. Hoosbear will kind of be jumping in to say their part. So guys, give a hand up, give me a raise. Yep, there we are. Awesome, kids. Amazing. So we can go on to the next slide now. The Brunswick Brentkill Work-Based Learning Program, driven by New York State Education Guidelines, assists high school students seeking to earn a diploma and/or certificate with the following improved pathways. You probably hear lots of things spit out. You hear the word CDOS and you hear the word SAC. CDOS is a Career Development and Occupational Studies Certificate, and SAC is a Skills Achievement Commencement Certificate. What is work-based learning? We can go to the next one. Work-based learning allows students to explore their career goals, abilities, and interests while applying their academic and technical knowledge and skills in a real-world context. There are certain core essential questions that we look at. For knowledge and career development, we talk about who am I? Where am I going? How do I get there? We also look at application and integrated learning. Why am I learning? What am I learning? How can I use it? These are all questions that a student should be able to answer. And finally, universal foundation skills. What do I need to know? What skills are important for me? We work on all of these things in work-based learning. Work-based learning provides hands-on work experiences that focus on assisting students to develop broad transferable skills for post-secondary education in the workplace. These are actually New York State's recommended CDOS Universal Foundation skills. And we work on some skills, basic skills, technology, systems, managing resources, personal qualities, interpersonal skills, managing information, and thinking skills. All of these things, these students work on every week. It's amazing. And we have evaluations. They self-evaluate themselves on these skills. And they also receive evaluations from me. Next. So let's talk about what we've accomplished this year. We have had a busy year, huh, guys? Just busy. I work them. I'm not going to lie to you. We work. So what have we accomplished this year? We created a spacious and versatile space that fosters individual and teamwork environments conducive to a variety of learning styles. Our room was set up specifically for different reasons. This is our classroom learning. We'll talk a little bit more about this stand-up desk. This is a calm corner. These guys learn to self-regulate themselves. They have a space to do that. We also have a spot where we partner and work with partners. Next. This is the remaining pictures of our classroom. We do a lot of group learning. We also, as you can see up here, this is a chart of our hours. We have to keep track of what our work-based learning hours are. Each space serves a purpose and is well utilized by all students at different times of the day. This is our conference area here. Now, sadly, I have to say that we are losing our room this year. We've grown, which is fine, but we are losing our room, so we're going to be resetting up and doing the same thing that we did, just reconfiguring. Next. Work-based learning curriculum. That's a big one. That's a huge one. I see Ms. Hoosbear's already sent it around. If you look at this big binder right here, the kids did all of that work all year in addition to working, which we'll talk about in a minute. We developed a curriculum based on New York State guidelines to foster those 4 essential questions. Again, the career development, integrated learning, universal foundation skills. We also had necessary assessment and evaluation tools to optimize every student's success. If you look through that curriculum binder, you will see assessments. Next. So this is my favorite part, and I'm going to try not to get emotional during this. While developing and collaborating with key supporting individuals, we call them natural supports, we created or expanded useful and meaningful jobs within the school. We do a lot of work in the school, but I want you to know that it's not busy work. It has meaning, it has purpose, and the individuals that I'm going to talk about next, which I'll be very quick, without them, we wouldn't be able to do this meaningful work. So that old saying, it takes a community, it takes a community, and we have a darn good one. So I'd like to say thank you to our many natural supports. First of all, Mrs. Hoosbear has let me run with the program. I have experience in this. This is my background. She meets with me weekly, provides me instruction, and gives me a lot of learning opportunities. So I'd like to thank our special education director. This was originally her vision, and she just kind of let me take it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
There are also many individuals within the school system. Mr. Kevin McCormick, man, that guy, I don't know how you got that guy, but when you hired him, you did the right thing. Let me tell you, he's making this school just phenomenal. Things are looking so much better. His team is amazing. Melissa, Tim, and Donnie, man, just Kevin, keep doing what you're doing, man. Dr. Maloney, thank you for your support. You've supported us in letting us do things as well. There's one person that I really want to point out, and Patty, could you stand up for me? Patty Lyon, let me tell you what, this work-based learning program would not happen without her. She had the foresight and started doing these programs before I even came on. These programs existed. We are collaborating now and working to tweak them a little bit and grow them a little bit, but Patty, you're amazing, and your students love you as well. Okay. All right, oh my goodness, let's get going. Michelle Furlong, stand up, please. Michelle Furlong. She currently has worked with 3 of our work-based learning students. I'm telling you, she can put me out of a job. She knows what she's doing. She's a huge advocate for the students. It's what it's all about. Thank you, Michelle. Let's see, who else? Nicole Solomon, speech pathologist. She helps me with a lot of communication. Laura Perfetti, CSE secretary. Wow, she's incredible. Our school principals, Kelly Honorado. How'd I do, Kara? Did I pronounce that right? Okay. Ken Rizzo, Brianna Norton, their support, fantastic. I'd like to point out a student, and I would learn something new today. Emily, could you stand up, Em? So Emmy's one of those students that you just love. She stands out, and I learned today from Patty that the word is partner. Emmy partners with our program, and wow, I don't know what we'd do without her. She's amazing. Last but not least, did I get everybody except for Chad Meyer? Chad, another one, and that guy. He's given us assembly jobs. We do all of his assembly jobs for the nets, everything. We built for Chad. He's given us a lot of work, but not only that, he's such a huge advocate for our kids and just such a positive guy. What a great influence. Thank you. Next. Speaking of assembly, not just busy work. Again, we have a purpose. We built 30 stand-up desks this year. That's Donnie right there, by the way, teaching us how to do it. And not only did we assemble them, but we delivered them. So we worked on a lot of customer service skills. Fantastic. So assembly, delivery.
Inventory.
Yep, inventory, all sorts of good stuff. Next. Again, courtyards. Thank you, Mr. McCormick. Our courtyards has been a big job this year. We presented to the administrators, which was approved, a proposal that we assist with the courtyards. I have to say again, Kevin, I don't know how you do what you do. We have one groundskeeper for this entire complex. So we partnered together, and the kids, students, young adults, work on the courtyards now to help out with that grounds. So this is us presenting. And we also had a safety lesson with Tim Levan, our Questar consultant. Next. And there is our work. This is what the courtyards looked like before. And again, not a lot of time for the maintenance. This is what they look like now. This is a before picture. We cut down trees and just really cleaned up the area. Then we got into some really fun stuff. We attended a field trip to Capital District EOC, affiliated with Hudson Valley Community College and SUNY, to explore viable post-high school employment and training options. And then following, we went out to lunch, which was the best part. The kids will tell you that. So, Jody, Mrs. Hoosberg, could you hand out our marketing materials? We have also created marketing materials and began developing business partnerships for student community shadow and community-based learning opportunities. This is the flyer that I go out to community businesses and use. I am going to give you some homework. Are we going to give them some homework, guys? We felt like you should have some homework. Take a few flyers. We are asking that you go out into the community if you know community business owners. Talk to them about our program. We want to partner with them. Thanks.
I'll just say one thing. We certainly try to target our immediate community, including the 4 towns that make up our district. But as you know, there's not a lot of industry. So if it went beyond that, the district would be supportive of getting the kids there. So it doesn't have to be just the 12180. It could go a little bit beyond that.
What else have we accomplished? We did a lot of work this year. Post-high school transition coordination. We ensured all exiting students have a plan set up and necessary supports are available to assist with their future goals post high school. That could be through Access VR, which you'll hear from, or OPWDD. Those are just a couple, there's more, but next. Okay, this is my favorite part. What have our individual students accomplished this year? Students were asked this year to describe their experience this year with our newly developed work-based learning program. This is the best part of the whole night. As a board member, I know I am very much all about the student. And this is, you get to appreciate what they have done. Go to the next one. Austin Radley, he is also attending a band concert this evening. So I asked him to come up first and then he's gonna quietly exit through when he's finished. I'll hold it for you.
I would recommend the work-based learning program to any student. The program really helps bring up the inner side of a student's personality and career interests in a safe place. It also gives a student the chance to be successful in other things besides the traditional academic setting.
Awesome, thank you, Austin. Hold on. Next slide. So I have to say congratulations, and I want to tell you, he said that, but this is what's amazing. Austin has met the requirements of a CDOS pathway, and he's graduating this year with a Regents diploma and CDOS certificate. In the fall, Austin will be attending Hudson Valley Community College for criminal justice. His future plans involve becoming a police officer or working in law enforcement. Austin had the opportunity to develop many leadership skills in WBL this year, while completing many on-site jobs, including a library support staff position, designing and decorating a Christmas theme for the WBL room and CSE hallway, coordinating a Secret Santa holiday event, and designing the preliminary courtyard landscaping. Austin was able to participate in a half-day job shadow experience with SRO Deputy Fane. Please also note, Austin has successfully maintained part-time employment at Walmart for the last half of the school year. This guy, he's got it all. Here's Joe. Joe's amazing.
You're just saying that.
No.
Okay. The WBL program has positively impacted me this year. I learned new job skills like the assembly of stand-up desks and good customer skills during the deliveries of those desks. The most meaningful thing to me in WBL was working with a group and increasing my social skills, which has led to more opportunities. This year, I participated in Unified Bowling and Unified Basketball for the first time in my high school career. I would recommend the WBL program to those students who learn best by doing hands-on activities versus sitting at a desk.
Thanks, Joe. All right, awesome. Okay, now I get to, it's awkward, I know, but take it. So Joe has met the requirements of the CDOS pathway. He's graduating this year with a local diploma and CDOS certificate. Joe is continuing to explore his career interests with the help of ARC and the New York State Office of Adult Career and Continuing Education. We also call that Access VR. Joe recently took a tour at Hudson Valley Community College for an innovative manufacturing program, plans to pursue its boot camp training. He is looking forward to a job shadow opportunity at Tractor Supply this month. Remind me, we have it scheduled. I need to schedule that with you. Joe worked hard this year to become more aware of his career interests and those job-related skills necessary to be successful. His smooth voice can be heard by the entire school in the morning as a BNN newscaster and when doing daily announcements in the afternoon on the PA system. Also note, huge thing, Joe and I spent a lot of time studying test strategies for his driver's permit and just got 100% on the permit test. You got this, man. You got it.
The work-based
The work-based learning program helped me out with a lot of things throughout my school year. I finally felt like I had a purpose, whereas before I felt extremely useless. The program helped me get comfortable in my surroundings, get along with others, talk more, and see that school wasn't as bad as I thought. The school library was a great place to start learning some skills at the beginning of the school year, and then I moved on to door security, which is important to the school's safety. Since I've been doing this job, I have felt better because this job is actually pretty common once I got the hang of it. I enjoy it and uh, and look at it and look at me. I changed a lot, kinda.
Awesome job. This is Aiden. He goes through the entire school, the elementary and the high school, middle school. Checks every single door, every day, every morning. Useful. Yes. Next. So Aiden has met the requirements of the SAC pathway, and he'll be graduating this year. I tried to get him to stay another year. He wouldn't do it, but hey. Aiden is continuing to explore his work interests with the help of Living Resources and Access VR. Starting mid-year with the WBL program, Aiden quickly became part of our team. He currently completes important safety and security tasks, checking all door locks every morning at both the middle school, high school, and elementary buildings. In addition, he renovated the library sports section over there, completed several assembly jobs, and performed some courtyard maintenance. Aiden is looking forward to doing a stocking job shadow at Price Chopper Market 32 later this month, Monday, I think. Also note, Aiden decided he wanted to spend time studying test strategies for his driver's permit. It's expected that he will pass the permit soon. He started mid-year, but we're there. We're close. Awesome. Thank you. Mr. Ed Young. I just want you not to cry for this, okay?
Being a part of work-based learning program changed me to be a better, kind, caring, and helpful man. Last year I was very angry and did not fit in anywhere. The program has shown me that learning to and working on a team can be a lot of fun. The experience in WBL program helps students find a better way to finish high school when passing regions is difficult.
Awesome. Okay. So, don't cry. Ed has made the decision after some coaxing to stay another year in work-based learning program to pursue his diploma and CDOS certificate with a specialized internship program. Recently approved by Dr. Maloney in collaboration with Kevin McCormick. Ed will specifically assist the grounds and custodial staff with maintaining the school's courtyards during the seasonal months and assist custodial staff with the indoor tasks during the winter months. To ensure optimal success, Ed will need to meet certain criteria and develop the necessary skills required for the position. It is hoped that the internship will become a paid position following a successful year. Ed is working with Access VR and ARC to further his work readiness. Also, note that this year, Ed mentored a middle school student in the area of daily living skills, and he spent time studying test strategies for his driver permit and successfully passed. Kaylee, come on down.
The work-based learning program has positively affected me by helping me do the things I love, work in the library with people I adore. The most meaningful thing to me in the WBL program this year was working with other students that have the same goal of learning the skills to be a good worker.
Haley, you can't get any better than this. I'm just going to tell you right now. Haley is in her junior year. She's our youngest WBLer. Has made the decision to pursue a more vigorous CDOS pathway to graduation. She also began taking Regents classes and has maintained excellent grades. Next year, Kaylee plans to continue her work-based learning hours within the school library where she currently completes the duties of a library aide. She fits perfectly there, and the library couldn't be more happy to have her again next year. Kaylee worked in an elementary kindergarten classroom prior to that. Kaylee will look to complete some work-based learning in one of the local community libraries while fulfilling the academic portion, integrated learning, and hone her skills for her CDOS credential. Please also note that Kaylee spent time studying test strategies for her driver's permit, and she passed as well. Come on down. Her nickname, the boss.
This has been a meaningful school year. The work-based learning program has shown me what a good worker can be. I have been surrounded by kind, hardworking teachers and staff that want the best for me. Over this past year, I feel my work experience has been being driven by my career goals. Awesome.
So I'm going to embarrass her further. She's amazing. Okay, next.
Can I just say something real quick? Kira cut the mold because she was the first one that we let explore before this really became a program, and we gave her keys and things before we let anybody else do it. And because she was so good, we were able to trust more students. So she was the trailblazer for sure.
Okay, so we worked on Kira, and she has made the decision to stay another year within the WBL program at Brunswick to pursue a more vigorous CDOS certificate. She plans to further explore her career interests and develop specific work-related skills in the area of assisting younger adolescents and or senior adults. Currently, Kira successfully serves as a morning safety hall monitor in the elementary building and a 6th grade lunch monitor in the middle school. She held many positions prior to this, including door security and assisting teachers in the elementary school. This year, she's had the opportunity to job shadow and visit the senior program at the Brunswick ARC across the road. Kira also mentored a middle school student in the area of daily living skills. Kira is working with Access VR to complete her driver license course. She's passed the permit and is working to get her license, and ARC to search for summer employment. This comes as no surprise, as Kira currently holds the title of most WBL hours, a whopping 465 hours of work. Okay, so that's what we're about. So where are we going? The goals of the work-based learning program. We have some short-term goals. We're going to partner more with the high school life skills program to expand the existing morning coffee cart, backpack program, and lost and found programs. Our goal is also to develop a school store that is overseen and benefits the work-based learning and the high school life skills programs. That'll be coming soon. Long-term goals. We want to continue to create, grow, and expand a variety of work-based learning experiences within the school and community, more specifically in the community. We also intend to become a certified program. I'm working on that now. That offers our services to other districts with potential revenue benefits. I'm going to have Ms. Hoosbear talk. My voice is getting a little rusty. We had our Grafton State Park end of the year party, and we were out playing volleyball and
Exhausted from the heat. This was their end of year today. all organized by you and the kids. So thank you for that. It was important for them to celebrate all their accomplishments. But throughout these slides, you've heard some of the names of the transition organizations that support our students with disabilities into adulthood. Those are Living Resources, ARC, Access VR. You often hear the Center for Disabilities also offers those transition services. The ARC program, that transition support for adulthood, is right across the street. So we've by rebuilding our work-based learning program, we've reestablished that relationship with them, and unsolicited when touching base with them was this quote from Gregory Kerwath, who is the person who comes over, spends time in our WBL classroom, supporting and working directly with the students on their transition goals. And this was his quote. I used to do transition at Tamarack prior to the school switching to an in-house model. When I returned to Tamarack this spring to provide pre-ETS services to the students, I was thrilled with what the transition program at Tamarack has become. I work with a few different schools, and what I have gathered is that the transition program at Tamarack is the most comprehensive, person-centered, and creative program I have seen. Many schools have transition programs that assist the students to meet CEDAW's requirements, but this program goes a step further and, in essence, is a long-term Access VR pre-employment training program. Although Access VR services are valuable in many ways, they are also limited in time and resources. Trying to get that, I'm sorry. The program at Tamarack provides ample time and ample supports for the students to develop the work skills necessary for the world after high school. I was amazed at some of the knowledge the students already had when providing pre-ETSE services at the school. Typically, students have less knowledge coming into these services than Tamarack students did. This type of program I would love to see all schools implement. And when our parents arrived today, and I just have to thank all of our families for the support that they provide their students at home, so that they can come today and be on point for their jobs every day. But even when they arrive today with their children, they alone have quotes that also belong up on this board. So just the change that they've all seen in their children in 1 year has been not only profound for them at home, but profound for staff throughout the building, throughout the entire district. And I can only thank Ms. Bowman for this, because
It takes a community. It takes a community. So once again, thank you for being board members. Thank you for helping our students. Thank you for your continued support. I hope that this was informative for you to understand what this new and innovative program is. Do you have any questions? If I'm not anything, I'm very thorough, so I know it was long. I apologize, but you know, when you're talking about these guys, you gotta be. If you have questions, additional questions, you think about questions, please feel free to reach out. My information is on that flyer. We'd be more than happy, or if you wanted to talk to students more or staff in regards to the work-based learning program, we want you to be involved. We want that support. And again, it takes a community. So thank you very much.
So that brings us to approval of the minutes. That's 2.1, motion done on the table. Tammy, Kevin, all in favor? Motion carries. 3.1 is tenure recommendation for Kathy Zeiss. Motion put that on the table. Ryan, Kevin. Discussion?
Yeah, I just want to mention Kathy is one of our talented teaching assistants that has a very specific skill of working with really challenging students. And she's been wonderful to stick with us. She was always the low man on seniority, so she get let go and then brought back and let go. So there was like breaks in her service. And fortunately now we were able to keep her on, and she has tenure, and I'm really glad to have her.
All in favor? Congratulations, Kathy. And that brings us to superintendent.
Yes, first I just would like to thank and congratulate Ford on 2 very successful votes. First for the school budget, which is critically important to do what we need to do, but secondarily the capital project, as which spent many hours putting together a thoughtful, comprehensive package that will take care of these needs for our districts. And I very much thank the extra efforts. This was one of those type of things that just didn't get sold by itself. There's a lot of work and a lot of conversations that need to occur. So my update today is to congratulate you and thank you for this. I can, on behalf of the community and certain students that are in the room, these are all repairs and upgrades that were needed. And I think you saw the student video that they made. Ray Bridge is one of the kids that was in that video. This is something that the kids really wanted, so we were really excited about. Today we had our introductory meeting, and Tammy was asking me some questions about timeline. So I am sharing some timeline issues, but everything is always a moving target because the main pieces of this project are all dependent on state ed. State ed has to take our drawings, all the scope and sequence, all the engineering renderings, all those things, and then it sits on a shelf. And we hope that they get to it within a year. And the meeting that I had today was that our architects are going to have the drawings for the following things. Some renovations in the middle school toilet rooms, which like the 6th and 7th grade bathrooms, the synthetic turf field and the surrounding track area, and the roof. Those are immediately going into state ed. We believe that the roof will go pretty quickly. It's nothing really fancy about that. They already have all the information from previous things. The toilet room, and believe it or not, actually takes a lot more review because anytime you do any kind of meaningful upgrades, they have to be newly ADA compliant. And a lot of our spaces aren't super big. So there's a lot of moving and shaking. A room that might have had 4 toilets in it, like now when we have 3, little things like that. I'm looking over to Kevin to make sure I'm not missing. Kevin was at the meeting with Stephanie and myself. But they're going to take some time. So I feel very confident that our architect and our construction management folks will deliver the package to state ed by November. That's their target date. They'll be meeting with myself and Chad and Kevin next week to talk about certain things about the field and, things that we want. Chad is going to talk to our coaches. What are their asks? We're not going to be able to give them everything they want, but certain things like, can we make the track an 8-lane track? Can there be steeplechase? So they're working on those kind of pieces, like within the scope of the footprint that we have. Once that package goes there, we literally wait. But as we're waiting for that first part of the project to go, they'll start working on some of the other things. They'll work on the plan for the fields, the grass fields. That'll take a little bit longer, and that's okay, because the primary focus is to get the synthetic field done, because once we get the synthetic field done, then they can rip everything else up because the kids will have a place to play. If they work on them both at the same time, there'll be no place anywhere for them to play. So the main question was, when are we going to have a field and track? If everything goes well, meaning all the renderings and everything go into state ed by November, and state ed does it in what they consider to be a timely manner, we should be able to start taking apart the field in late May of 2025. They'll work all summer long on the field, and the field and the track should be ready, if all goes well, by the beginning of October 2025.
So where will graduation be for 2020?
We'll work on that when we get there, because we have to see what the field is actually going to be look like. Can we put something over it? So that, we haven't even gone down that road yet. It can still possibly be outside, but
okay.
Yeah, but we want to see if that's even an issue, because if state ed doesn't approve it in that time, we'll have plenty of time to punt from there. That's already on our mind. So the work itself is not the problem. They know how to put fields in like lickety split. That is not an issue. It's the state ed approval. So if state ed does not get it in time, we wouldn't rip it up. We would just probably leave off another cycle, meaning we would just have to wait until those things. The architects feel really good though with the rest of the package, everything else like boilers, piping, all those kind of things. They'll be bidding it at a time where there's not a lot of competition, and that companies will be very eager to put our project in 2026 on their books. So some of the work will be done in 2025. The rest of the mechanical work will be done in 2026 and possibly even into 2027. But a lot of that stuff the kids won't see. Things like boilers, things like piping, things like underground things. Those are the more mechanical things, HVAC stuff. So that's the big thing right now. So fingers crossed with state ed.
Where is the garage going?
That'll
Where's
probably be-
that one?
That'll probably be phase two, because there's, so 2026, because the scope of even just doing the asphalt is well over $1 million, and it's so much work. And we have to be really thoughtful about that too, because once they start digging ground at the bus garage, we can't use the bus garage. So we have to figure out a place to put all of our buses to make sure they're safe. You know, it makes sense for them to do it over the summer because we only use a handful of buses at the summer, and we can stage them here at school. But that takes up space too for other things. So that'll be 2026. There's no way they'll get that for 2025, for sure. Kevin, did I miss anything?
No, they just don't wanna complicate the site work with the fields, and they want to do bus garage.
Yeah. The other thing too, as you know, we're still grappling with some fuel storage and piping issues. We're in the process. It's not catastrophic by any means, but we're in process with repairing pipes and all that kind of thing. So waiting a little bit too kind of plays into the overall fix of that too. So it's not the worst thing. We do have to have a conversation about whether or not we repair some of the big potholes that are up at the bus garage, just because we don't want to start losing bus tires and things like that. I mean, because they're pretty significant. But we also don't want to waste money on patchwork for $50,000 that you're just throwing away. So we're just trying to find the sweet spot to keep it safe, but not waste money, if that makes any sense. So, does anybody have any questions? I'll be having regular updates quite a bit as we go, and it'll be one of those things that's hurry up and then wait.
When you say regular updates, do you mean here or also maybe on like social media?
We can do that too.
newsletters?
Yep, we can absolutely do that. The hard part is once we submit it at the state, you'll sit for a year. There just isn't a lot of conversation. So that's the hard part. So hopefully the state keeps saying that they're going to hire more people to do reviews. But I heard that before, so. But good news is I really feel confident that we're using the same construction management service and the same architects. They're not recreating the wheels. They already have the drawings. They're not wasting time with all those kind of things. So I feel pretty confident with that. And then tonight you're proving the bonding of the money that you're going to use for that, and it's probably being passed around the table. Tonight you're going to vote on it, and then the board members sign it. That allows the district to borrow that money and for that to be executed the way it needs to for the purposes of the project. Any other questions? All right, well, we turn it over to our building principals. Why don't we start? Ken? Please.
We're gonna use microphones.
Good evening. So we're in the busiest stretch of the year for the secondary school, and so actually right now the 6-12 band concert is going on over there. Off to a great start. The middle school when I was in the room, I think Ronald's actually there right now as well. I know Carly's going to be speaking to some of the social activities. There's been a lot going on, prom and whatnot. I'm going to try to leave that for Carly, but there's so much that's happening. You know, we're approaching a exciting time of year for the seniors, especially and upcoming events too. So I'm going to let her speak more to that stuff. We just had our high school awards night this week, sponsored by our counseling center. Something I want to highlight, Ms. Norton mentioned, it's a great point that Ms. Sparrow, our new business teacher, has expanded some things in our building. This year brought the New York State Business and Marketing Honor Society to us, and that was part of our high school awards program. It was a great evening. We honored a lot of students. If you weren't there the other night, I think it was Tuesday, was track of days here. I also wanted to highlight our sixth graders. This year, the sixth grade team did a great job working with sixth graders. They raised $2,700 for Ronald McDonald Charities. They just think at that age, our youngest students in the building, raising that kind of money. We had one student in particular who raised over $1,000 herself, and she became our principal for the day. And then the two other students who are twins, they also were the assistant principal for the day. So we had a great time with that. And also pictures tomorrow. Really did a lot. They got to meet Dr. Maloney and actually observe teachers in classrooms. No formal write-ups, but we had a lot of fun for the day. So check out tomorrow's update. You'll see. Actually, we had them do a fire drill as well. Actually, they pulled the fire drill, which I'll have to admit, I actually pulled it myself in first grade, but I wasn't supposed to. Got a lot of trouble for that. So they pulled it with permission from Mr. McCormick, who's over there still. I can't see him, but it was a fun day. We also just administered the new Next Generation Algebra 1 Regents exam on June 4th. We're successful, and I really appreciate the opportunity to have classes closed for the day. It sounds strange, but the reason why I say that is because we were able to have students come in the building for intervention again, which we did in January. So this year, for the first time, we had a January mid-year intervention day, where teachers had read a schedule and students who were identified sent letters home to families, and students came in the building who are academically at risk mid-year, and we just did that again end of the year. And we believe this is really a great way to target students for support and hopefully reduce the number of kids who fail and need for additional tutoring and Apex, all those things. So it was very successful. We'll see what the results, bring the end of the school year here with pass fails and stuff, but productive day all around between the algebra exam. Also, just for staffing and space in the building, not having all the students here trying to keep a secure test really makes that part of things much easier and again productive for the staff. I think the staff appreciates a little bit of time to be able to organize themselves for the busy stretch here as we finish the year. I also want to mention we've been really busy with our drama musical production, just discussing what the future that will be and the vision for it in the future. We had a committee put together. We interviewed, did a survey of our students, and nearly 60% of our students wanted a 7 through 12 production. So we are going to be moving to the future to a 7-12 production for the drama theater production. I spoke to a lot of other principals as well in the Wasser League, and much in alignment with those schools and really what our students wanted. So we're going to have 6th graders involved. They're going to be coming in, they're going to be working with sets and backstage, but hopefully getting some mentorship as well for the older students. But it's going to be a 7-12 production, which is a big shift. We had some different people that came to administration and with ideas and wanted to discuss it, came to the table, and I think we put a lot of thought and time into it. Ultimately made a decision we feel confident in is best for students and what the students wanted, and their voices rang loud and clear in this decision. So we are excited for that to be a change and hopefully starting a new tradition here in the future for students to be involved in our theater program. Coming up, just to highlight our middle school moving up ceremonies, our big middle school graduation. That's on June 25th at 8:30 a.m. And that'll be in the high school gym. And then our high school commencement ceremony, class of 2024, we're going to send them off at 10 a.m. on June 26th. I'm going to jinx this completely, but I was here when Jim Donnelly was principal, and it was beautiful weather. It's been beautiful weather every year. So here's the jinx. I don't believe in jinxes, I'm going to be honest. It's been great weather. It's been warm, but hopefully we have good weather. If we don't, it's okay. We have a backup plan
Mrs.
this year.
Jensen, can you strike that from the record, please?
We have a backup plan. We have the auditorium. So we're excited about this year's commencement all back. So I don't believe in this stuff. I don't. All right.
When it pours.
But you said it.
I said it.
You said it.
It's fine. So thank you very much.
It's probably the most beautiful ever.
No, look at me now in race.
I think the agenda for tonight is board approval of all of our summer school positions. We are holding 2 classes in-house, our K2 or 3-5. And we are all staffed effective today. So thank you for your approval in that. And you'll also approve a resignation. Our social worker is moving on to other opportunities. So we'll be posting for a replacement for, I think we plan to search for either a social worker and or an additional school psych. They each come with their own expertise. However, both provide a tremendous value. So I think with the climate, we'll see which of the best candidates we do get. So hopefully that search will bring you a recommendation at our next board meeting in July. We did just complete our scheduling at the elementary level, and I do want to put on your radar that our CSE students, we are at max capacity in 3rd grade. I think in the past I touched upon 2 bubbles that we had that are really, really extremely almost at 50%. It was 6th grade last year. And when I say it's at 50%, it is 1 under. And we're there only because we are anticipating a move, and we are utilizing a 2nd classroom where we do have some CSE students who are being serviced, but with less restrictive needs that don't necessarily require an integrated co-teaching. So if they were together, we would be over the 50%. So we are kind of puzzle piecing at this point, depending on what exactly it is you see serviced on the IEP. So if we were to get a 3rd grader moving in, I would say that we would be about ready to have to staff that further. So our middle school program, I think Sherry Bowman talked about the work-based learning program shifting to a new location. That is because our new middle school program is staffed and it will be created from scratch. It's our kind of the remainder of our special class continuums that we needed to put in place. There are already 9 students slated for that classroom. I think I mentioned we have 1 student coming back to our high school classroom, 1 student coming home to our middle school classroom, and we do have a new student enrolling from Lionsdale as well. So those are some new kids that have been in the program, and we do have another tour for a potential cross contract with Hoosick Falls that we will be entertaining over the next couple of weeks, and we'll report on whether or not we approve that registration. And I hope you enjoyed our culminating activity. I've talked about it a lot this year. I can't tell you how proud I am of all of them, and I hope you were too. It just was a little too emotional for me. They've done such a lot.
And for the students that are here, what Mrs. Husbear was saying about 50%, if you have a classroom that it's a co-taught classroom, meeting with a classroom teacher, and a special education classroom, more than half of the students can't be students with disability. If there is, we need to split that apart. So if we got to that point where there was more than 50% of the students in that class with an IEP, then we would have to hire a special ed teacher and make another co-taught class. And if that happens, that happens. It would be a challenge for us to find a special education teacher just because there's not a lot out there. So that's one of the things that we worry about, but we're right on the thin line. That bubble's been there the whole time.
We are already breaking it apart. We're doing our creative due diligence to make sure that we don't hit that 50% over that 50% mark in the co-teach classroom, but just putting it on the
I do have an update from Mrs. Honorable, just a brief update. The shipment and introductory training for Wonders ELA curriculum that you approved a couple board meetings ago has come in. The teachers got the training, and we had a school movie day for Read for Ronald. And I'm not sure if your kids talked to you about it. Nobody prepared me for that movie. No one. I was falling in the back of the room. It was something, One and Only Ivan. I don't know if anybody's seen it. Anyway, funny story is one of our special needs kids I was sitting at the very back, and he comes to the back. He was leaving before all the other kids, and I'm trying to wipe my face because I'm tearing up, and he goes, "You're a poopyette." I was like, thank you. That just put the ice cream on the cake for that one. So there was that. We screened all incoming UPK and kindergarten students. The elementary concert is next week. 4th grade band will be rolled out next year. Mr. Barkham is holding a band recruitment night this month to include our current 3rd and 4th graders. Field trips. Chingachgook, U.S. District Courthouse, which we've done for many, many years. That's a good one. Schwartz Farms and Valley Cats. We're looking forward to our pre-K, K, and 5th grade moving up ceremonies. And a reminder that June report cards will be available through the parent portal, in addition to printing them. And teacher assignments will be posted to the parent portal this summer. So that's from Mrs. O.
have to add to the courthouse trip. Every year, John talks about how our students are. This year, sorry.
I graduated a long time ago.
How they send districts from all over the capital region, as they've got more city outreaches, always just to the best. Kudos to the district.
You're the second person to say that this month. We had our kids at the PE awards, and apparently some of the schools were acting a fool, but the Tamarack kids all stayed there politely and waited for the whole presentation to be done. And the parent said that she was so proud to be a district resident that our kids could act so well, even though everybody else was leaving and doing whatever they wanted. So that's great. Makes me very proud. So that goes to Carly.
So since the last meeting, there have been some events going around the school. We had Red, White, and Gold Day, which turned out amazing. We also had the NHS ceremony, which was very nice as well. On top of that, we had prom, which was amazing, and the Heads of Hope event, which was a great turnout. Spring sports have ended, and all the teams did amazing this year. And there are many senior events happening in June, such as Next Step Day, which was yesterday, our senior picnic, and our graduation, which is very bittersweet.
And I will further add that the director of Troy Country Club, which is where we held our prom, contacted me the next day and said how amazing our kids are. And they don't do proms. They had a special meeting to make special arrangements to host our kids, which is wonderful. What's that? Yeah, do you mind?
Okay, so that brings us to, VMA's updates. Anybody have anything? So that brings us then to, approving the minutes for next, or the meeting dates for next year.
So the only thing that is absolutely critical right now is the reorganization meeting. Technically, the reorganization meeting is supposed to be held the first Tuesday of the month, but usually it coincides right around 4th of July. People get a little funny. So as long as the board passes when it's going to be, and it has to be within the first 15 days of the month. So to me, it doesn't matter when it is. It's just whatever's going to be the most convenient. And again, that can be just reorg, but it makes sense to do reorg and business at that same time since you have everybody. But it's always a tough one because half the people are on vacation during that time. So really, I'll defer to whatever everybody sees is best. But whatever that is, we have to adopt that tonight, and then we'll be all set, and then I can post it.
So I think Leah cannot make the 9th, right? Can everybody else make the 9th? Okay, so why don't we say we'll do the 9th? So I think we need a motion to approve this. Tammy,
Yes.
Ryan, all in favor? Perfect.
So I'll take the draft off that. Mrs. Cooper or Mrs. Jensen will have that on the board docs for next year, and we'll add that to the calendar as well.
All right, so that brings us to 6.1 professional development plan. Motion to put that on the table. Dina?
Oh, no,
Danielle?
I'm sorry. We skipped one. I apologize.
Oh,
This is,
sorry.
I added this today, so,
Oh, hold on.
yep, no, I just added this today because it just
I
came
think
to
it
our
has to
attention.
settle next year.
Please don't tell them we road cap that.
No.
So we have a handful of students from our wonderful junior class that are here tonight to make a presentation about a potential trip. This trip does need building permission, which they already went through the proper channels. They've already spoken to me, so now because they're going overnight, they would need board approval. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to Brady Briggs, who will be speaking to them.
Hi, my name is Brady Briggs, and I'm the Vice President of Class of 2025. And we're proposing an overnight trip to Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey, and then the following day to the American Dream Mall, which provides an amusement park. And I think it'd be a great opportunity for us kids to get together for one last trip before we graduate. And each of you are provided with an itinerary following. On the back is payment plans and opportunities for students who may not be able to afford the trip to pay for it through fundraising, as well as we can get local companies to adopt the student and donate money as well. And if there's any problems with that, they can reach out to counselors as well as the our class advisors. So everything will be confidential for those students.
Yeah, that would be my only limitation. If somebody wants to go, we just have to figure out a way to make that happen. So in all my time here, that has never been an issue, and I do believe that people would sponsor students if money is the issue.
We just want to make sure everybody's available to go, since it is an entire class trip. We want to make sure everyone's included.
So the one question came up is why the mall?
It was close, and we thought it would be fun to go because who doesn't like shopping? There's tons of food, 250 stores, 50 restaurants, as well as an amusement park inside. So we just thought it'd be the best of both worlds for students.
I'm certainly very supportive. You know, these kids in all their time that I've been with them have always demonstrated themselves to be very mature, very responsible, very respectful. So I have no qualms about sending them on their way. I think they've earned it, to be honest.
Thank you for your time.
So if you're comfortable, we can do one of two things. You can actually approve it tonight, or I can wait till July and have a formal approval. It's 6 1/2 dozen others. As long as they have kind of thumbs up approval, then they can start planning for it.
So I think we need a motion to Kevin, Tammy. All in favor of approval? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Very nice sheet too. Yes, thank you. Very good.
Okay. So that brings us to 6.1 professional development plan. Motion to put that on the table. Danielle, Dina, all in favor? Motion carries. 7.1 is curriculum change requests. Put that on the table. Dana, Miguel? All in favor? Carries. 8.1 through 8.2 on consent. Motion to put that on the table. Brian, Tammy? All in favor? Motion carries. 9.1 through 9.9. Motion to put that on the table. Danielle? Yeah. Any discussion?
I just want to mention, the top one, which was resignation of George Marshall. George has been our physics teacher for the last couple of years. Really great. We're sad to see him go, but he doesn't have family up here, so he's moving downstate to be with family. But I just did an observation of him the other day, and I was like, oh shoot. But somehow Mr. Rizzo has done it again. He's got 7 applications for physics, which is stunning. So we're hoping that
I
they're.
lied to him, I tell him it's salary 6 figures. Then he didn't hear, I'm like,
So we're
Time
moving on that quickly because we'd like to have a nice transition and, you know, we're looking forward to them. I'm sure all of them won't be rock stars. The fact that we have some to choose from is wonderful for Tamarack kids, so I'm excited about that.
All right, all in favor? Motion carries. Brings us to the business finance, 10.1 through 10.9 on consent. Motion put that on the table. Nina, Jenna? Discussion.
No, just a couple things to note. The first and foremost, as I mentioned before, we give our initial results the night of the vote, but we open up all the write-ins and all that jazz. So the final results are 411 yes for the budget vote to 183 no. And for our propositions, 413 to 188 and 395 to 205. So I think that's a really good showing. I'm incredibly thankful to many people that put on events. There's a lot of people that want to support the budget, but they just find I'm busy. I got things going on. I got taekwondo. I got all these things. But the character ed, our art department, our music department really put together a compelling reason for people to come out and come through the building. And what was really great is to see the number of young families with their kids actually going to vote. That was really heartening to me. So I'm really thankful. These things just don't happen on their own. The business office did a lot of things to make sure that the budget was fair and in compliance and get all sorts of paperwork out. And I'm certainly appreciative. And then I'd also like to extend congratulations to our board member elects, Daniel Rocap, Jenna Horton, and David Trainer. So congratulations to the 3 of you.
All right. All in favor? Motion carries. That brings us to public comment.
Alex Vaughn. Aida. Students on board this.
That's a great question. No, you actually have to be 18 and a high school graduate. So you would actually have to graduate from high school to actually be on the board. So students don't, but you can have a student representative on the board, which we have for the last several years. And I believe the state is making that a requirement now. So we've had it for a long time, but other schools are going to have to.
Eva Goldie.
Judy Council.
Ella Robert.
I have Ella Roberts, I'm a Chamber. I'm a senior here. I know that the capital project is addressing a lot of issues in the school, but I was wondering if an issue that would be addressed are the bathrooms in the 500 wing and bathrooms in the band wing.
It's not included in this project. It'll probably be on the wish list for next project. Believe it or not, there's some of the newer bathrooms in the building because that's the newest part of the building. But we know that there's been some challenges. Thank you.
Anna. Hi.
Hi.
For the special education department, can any student do their work-based learning program?
That's a really good question. Yes and no. So the specific program that those students are a part of, that would only be for students with a disability that would fall under a certain category. But there are some schools that do have internship-like things that are related to that, which we currently don't have. But I know that this is something Mr. Rizzo feels strongly about. We just need somebody to have an idea and to take it forward. We've been trying for the last couple of years, and COVID got in the way a little bit, but to have student workers, like particularly custodial student workers, it's hard though, because you got to find that balance between schoolwork and work and that kind of thing. But that's a great question, because as I was watching it, I was like, that sounds pretty darn good.
Desiree?
That's a good question. Do you want to address that, Mr. Rizzo?
Sure. So we don't have a formal summer school program here. We really haven't that I'm aware of. Our students used to go to neighboring schools like Troy. What's happened since COVID is basically they're not accepting any of our local students. Pretty much they house their own. So what we've done is we created a program for the middle school, mostly through tutoring, where we tutor students into the school year. We identify students who are in need of that. And then with the high school, we rely on Apex, which is credit recovery primarily as our summer school type programming. If you are aware of a school that accepts, we do take the credit in. If there was one maybe last year I heard possibly, but for the most part, unfortunately, it's not really something in the area we have anymore.
Good question.
Emily?
I have a question for the special ed department. Is the middle school like the addition to the room, is that self-contained or is that like life skills room or?
It is self-contained, similar to the life skills classroom. However, just like every other one of our special education classrooms that are self-contained, if any one of the students that are rostered in that classroom has the ability to, kind of be hybrid, where some content areas they're self-contained for and some other content areas they push out into the general education population, then we do program for those.
Thank you. I also just want to say, Ms. Bowman's work with the work-based learning kids is just amazing. The growth I've seen in all of them, it makes an amazing program that we have.
Thank you.
Actually, to add on what Emily said, I think I saw Mrs. Carroll back there somewhere. A perfect example of what we try to do, we have a student that's in a self-contained classroom that had a keen interest in history. So we actually allowed, Mrs. Carroll was great to open up her door and that student sat in there. They didn't take it for credit, but they took that class so they could just enrich their own knowledge. So I think we try really hard to give the students any opportunity we can to have them be included.
Samuel?
I just wanted to ask for graduation for class of 2024. Why exactly is that 10 a.m.?
Heat. Two reasons. 10 a.m. is because of heat, because it gets too hot. But the Wednesday piece, when Mr. Rizzo, unless you want to speak to this, I'll stop it.
Yeah.
Mr. Rizzo spoke to students, and it was more important that the teachers were at the ceremony than waiting till Friday when the teachers weren't there. A robust ceremony with all the faculty and staff being there was very important to the students. Did I cover that right?
Yeah, the last day of school officially for staff is Wednesday. So we had it Friday. A lot of staff will be traveling and gone, and we had surveyed class advisors last summer, I think, and talked to students, and they largely wanted to have it opportunity for parents and for the staff to be there as well. So that was a decision. Otherwise, we could have had it on Friday if we wanted to. But 10 a.m. with the outdoor ceremony, usually we go with the morning being an outdoor because by the end of the day, the heat index is wicked if it's June and it's a hot day. If it's an indoor ceremony, then we consider that kind of a change. But and still maybe indoors depending on the weather. Each year we have that as a backup plan.
Thanks.
Well, now it's backtracking.
It's not gonna be inside.
It's in my throat. The white flag.
That's it? Okay, so, we need a motion to go into executive session for a personnel issue. Tammy, Jenna, all in favor? All right, thank you all for coming.
I wore shorts, I did not regret it, let me tell you.